Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I know I'm wearing this sharp red lipstick today and I'm looking all bright and happy, but the story I'm about to tell you guys today was about a very scary time, a scary 2 days of my life, or a scary 24 hours of my life. It was the one time that these people, not even the hospital I normally go to, I just went for a random scan. In fact, basically they told me that my baby's falling out and I'm going into labor. So let me just start from the very beginning. So I was about, I want to say 22 weeks pregnant. So about 9 weeks ago, I was just like, oh, you know what, my hospital I only go to my hospital every 1 month. I've not seen this baby enough times. I need to go and see this baby. So I just went to a random place around where I live, where they do scans, you know, sonograms and all that. And I said, hey, I want to do a scan. I want to see my baby. I want to know how the baby is doing and all that. And so I carried my 2 left legs, went to the place, so all excited to see my baby, hear my baby's heartbeat. I was like, this baby's not really kicking, this baby feels sluggish. I heard that by this time people, you know, you start feeling some movement, but I'm not feeling anything, not even gas bubbles, nothing. Let me go and find out if this baby is okay, if he has 2 hands, if he has 2 legs, you know, that kind of thing now. So I carried myself to this place. I said I want to do scan. In fact, I regret that decision. So that's how I went. It started off fine. They said I should lie down. I laid down. They put the, you know, the cold jelly on my stomach. They were rubbing it. So, oh, ma'am, see a heartbeat. Yes, that's good. See, your baby's heart is beating fine. I was like, hey, yeah, nice. All was going well, though. I said, does this baby have hand? They say yes. Does he have leg? They say yes. In my mind, I was like, okay. I thought the scan was even almost over. I was like, fine, thank God. Everything is good. God is good. That's how this one now paused. And I realized that she was not saying anything and she was still checking. In my mind, I was just like, what's this woman checking for now? What does she want to say now? As in, you know, as a first time mom now, my heart was beating. I was like, hey, oh, what have I gotten myself into? Next thing she said, madam, please, first of all, can you go and use the restroom? Pee. I need to check something well. I'm not sure of what I'm seeing. I need to be sure. Please go and pee. I need your bladder to be empty so that I can see well. I said, does my bladder being full affect it? Because you know, when you go for scans early in the pregnancy, they tell you to drink a lot of water so that your bladder is full, right? But apparently this time around she wanted me to pee, so myself I was even confused from there. But I said, you know what, maybe there's something she's seeing that, you know, she cannot understand. Let me go and pee and come back. I went to pee. I came back, removed my clothes. He said, I'm sorry ma'am, but I have to try another type of scan. This one goes inside you. I'm going to try it because I need to see something. I'm sensing that your cervix is a bit dilated, but I need to use this one so that I can see well. I said, okay, no problem. At this point, my heart is already beating. I'm like dilated. At this point, is this not something they tell people that have gone into labor? That they'll be like, okay, you need to be 10 centimeters dilated. She's saying a bit. What does a bit mean? I have so many questions. Like, I had so many questions in my head. Like, I can't even begin to tell you. So, last, she puts protection on the thing. She put it, and she was now looking. She said, okay, look at your baby's head. Your baby's head is down, and your cervix is open. It's slightly open. In my mind, I was like, what does that mean? She said, in fact, she just removed. She said, you need to go and contact your doctor right away. This could mean so many things. You could go into early labor. It's a sign of preterm labor. In fact, just go and meet your doctor right now. Can you see your doctor right now? Yeah, I was thinking, my hospital, you book appointments. Of course, if it's an emergency, you call them and let them know you're coming in. If the doctor that sees you is not around, another doctor will see you. But I was just like, okay, I can call my doctor and try and schedule an appointment as soon as possible. But what does this mean? He said, don't worry, I'm going to print out a report for you. Just take it to your doctor right now. Like, your doctor needs to see this right now. You're going into preterm labor, blah, blah, blah. Hey. In my head, what I was just thinking, preterm labor. I have family members, like, even like that have experienced this thing, and sometimes it doesn't end well. I know people that their babies died. In my head, I was just thinking, God, is this my first pregnancy? I'll start to tell stories. Hi, like, my heart was just beating boom boom. At this point, it's not like anyone knew other than my family and very close friends. I don't even think my close friends knew I was pregnant. It was just my family, to be honest, that knew I was pregnant at this point. So it's not like I was worried about what would people think, but I was just worried about what will happen to this baby. You know, my maternal instinct was just kicking in. I said, okay, how long would this report take? She said it will take 10 minutes. My eyes were already watching. Trust now, when they tell you this kind of news, what did they expect? That's how last she was not like, madam, please be very careful. If you took bike to come here, please be very, don't take bike back, call a taxi, tell the taxi guy to drive gently. You can't have any activities, any sexual activity, nothing. Please be very gentle. This baby can start to come any minute. That's why you need to go to your doctor so that they will know what's best to do. Hey, you guys, imagine them telling you this kind of thing when you're a new mom and you have no idea how to handle all these kind of situations. Me, I was already freaking out, of course. I went home. In fact, I didn't even get home. I just went to the car. I called my husband. I was like, this is what they're saying. He's like, don't freak out, don't freak out. Just come home. In fact, thinking about this now, it's even making me like somehow emotional. But it's not called for. My baby is fine. We are past this now. This happened 2 months ago, so let me gather myself. Anyway, so I now got home. I told my mother-in-law. In fact, I even called my mom on the phone as I was driving. I was speaking to her with the speaker. I was talking to her. And she was like, oh, don't freak out. There's solutions to this now. Just get to the hospital, call your doctor, send them the report. They said 2 centimeters. That's like 20% of the, the full dilation. 10 centimeters is for a full-grown baby to come out. At that point, probably it will only take like 4 centimeters for the baby to even come out. Because the baby was still small, And so I called my mom. She was like, don't freak out. I got home, told my mother-in-law. She was like, which kind of talk is this? Have I called my doctor? I said, yes, I've called her, but I'm waiting. She said she sent her the scan and everything, like the report. I sent my doctor the report, of course. My doctor was like, you need to come in first thing tomorrow morning, because at this point it was already like 4 p.m, in the midst of talking to family members and everything. So nothing could be done. Me, I started researching. I called my sister. My sister told me that there's one procedure. I called Nello. Nello told me, oh, that her friend even did this procedure. She hooked me up to her friend that did it. But basically, the procedure is called a cerclage, and the procedure, what they go and do is, if your baby is coming out, if you're prone to have like a preterm labor or something like that, they go and sew your cervix up so that the baby will not fall out. In my case, this woman already told me my baby is falling out and I'm 2 centimeters dilated. And first of all, I think I was 23 weeks. Yes, and they can't do this procedure as from 24 weeks and above because of how dangerous it can be for the baby. Maybe they can mistakenly sew your baby's head and they don't want to do that, or something along those lines. And so basically, and this was like Tuesday, so if I didn't go into the hospital the next day, by Thursday I won't be able to get it done, because by Thursday I would have passed, will I say, cutoff mark or the cutoff period for getting the procedure done. So you cannot imagine all the thoughts racing in my head. I was like, God. In fact, to climb common staircase, I could not do it. I was afraid that maybe if I climbed, that the baby would just fall out. In fact, I was living in agony because I felt anything I did, if I cough, this baby will fall out. If I breathe, this baby will fall out. Anything I do, this baby will fall out. I remember Tochi was asking me what's the problem. She asked me because I was supposed to go to hospital on Friday, and all of a sudden I was like, yeah, because sometimes I like to go with her, someone to keep you company, and just nice. And my husband is always busy with work, so she's always the next person I can rely on for that. And so she was like, I thought it was on Friday. What happened? Why are we going tomorrow? And I said, well, it's an emergency. So I didn't even really want to talk about it because I felt like, okay, if I talk about it, then it will become real. My own thoughts were just manage yourself, get to the hospital, So that whole night I was just an emotional bag of beans. And then the next day, first thing in the morning, I ran to the hospital. They were like, okay, the person that is supposed to do this scan, because the doctor was like, first things first, I need to get a scan done by their own hospital, so they know that I've already done a scan, but I need to do another scan so that they can be sure of what they are dealing with here. So, and then that was the day that the sonographer at the clinic was not well or something like that, so he didn't come in, so I had to go and do it in the main clinic. So I went to the main clinic, and then obviously because it was an emergency scan, there were already people scheduled to get their scans. So it was not like just go and get it done. There was a bit of a wait. I had to wait a little bit. So as I was waiting, I was just there thinking like about my life. So I was just talking to Tochi in the waiting room, talking to her, and then finally these people were like, madam, I'm sorry, you have to wait till 1. I'm like, it's an emergency. This is an issue of life or death. Like, you don't want to be responsible for the loss of my baby. I need this scan done as soon as possible. Like, trust me now. When you're pregnant, you're not emotional, and they're not telling you that you're going to preterm labor. Like, that whole fear, I started crying on them. They found a way to quicken it. So as I got into the scan, the doctor, like the sonographer rather, was just looking, and then he was like, is this sonographer or radiologist? I don't know which one is higher, but the higher, this one was higher than the position of the person that I saw in the place I went near my area, you know. So he was looking like, madam, what's the problem? I told him. He said okay. So he's looking for any abnormalities and my cervix if it's too short. I said yes. So he said everything is fine. I said, are you sure? Because they told me I'm going to preterm labor and I don't know, blah 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 blah. He was like, madam, is it your first pregnancy? I said yes. He said, no wonder. He was just laughing. I said, everything is fine, your baby is fine. I said, does he have two legs? Say yes. Does he have head? Say yes. Does he have heart? Said yes. Does he have two legs? Is he kicking? Is he moving? He said yes. He said, madam, honestly, your baby is fine. Hey, at that point, my chest just came down, like from Mount Kilimanjaro, it just came down to earth. I was just like, Jesus, thank you, Abba, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, God, you are the only true God. Not that I didn't hear God in my mind though that day, because I was like, Jesus, where would I have stepped from? Like, you know, the thought of just losing my first pregnancy or giving birth at 22 weeks. Which baby will survive at 22, 23 weeks? I don't know, but I just felt like in Nigeria too, I even started asking the doctor, what does the NICU look like? You know, I wanted to know that if it happened that I was going to early labor, that this baby will be fine. I was just freaking out. Immediately I got that news, I decided to go back, or rather I went back to the clinic, and then the doctor was like, you know what, to be on the safe side, let's look inside. So she looked inside and she was like, oh, your baby is fine, I don't even need to do any procedure, your baby's heartbeat is fine, your cervix is short. She was just saying this, my mind was just coming down. Then last now she said, you need to be calm. I know this is the first pregnancy, but you need to be calm, everything is fine. It's good you contacted us though, but like just be careful and, you know, don't worry too much. As long as, you know, you have complaints and we get it checked out, everything is fine. So she was not asking me, so like, you know, what's next? I was not asking her like, okay, what if this happens again? She said the service is short, and I asked her, is it possible that it was open and then closed? She said no. So I said, so I had all this heart attack for one day, for nothing basically. I don't even know if to say it was because the person that did this thing was inexperienced. I don't know who to blame, or if it's myself. I don't know if to blame myself for being impatient and I just wanted to, you know, go to an ultrasound place around where I am to just see the baby. I don't even know why, but I was just like, so I had this heart attack for 4 days, for 24 hours for nothing. This baby is actually fine. After thanking God, I just told myself, China, don't see yourself. Next time, just be patient. Because my next time was meant to be like 3 days later. I could have just waited, but impatience didn't allow me because I wanted to see my baby. I was just like, you guys, that labor scare was real, because honestly, within my heart, soul and mind, I already made up my mind that there's no way out of this. There's no way this baby is going to survive. If this baby comes out now, it's over. I'd already started thinking of. So of course, as soon as I left the hospital, I called my mother-in-law, called my husband, called my mother, called my sister, called my whole support system, told all of them that everything is fine. I was just like, are you sure? Did the doctor double check? He said, can it suddenly open again? Said no. Doctor said it's not even possible that it opened all the way to 2 centimeters and they closed within that short period of time. There would have been a sign of some opening or something. I wanted to go back to that place when they told me my baby was falling out and give them a piece of my mind, but I just said, Nazom, it's not called for. Just be grateful that your baby is fine. Anyway, this story has been too long, but that's how they scared me, and I thought my baby was going to fall out, but luckily my baby did not fall out. I'm so grateful to God. I'm still pregnant. And yes, that's why when some people were saying I'll give birth at their own birth dates, I did not play with that joke. I was like, God forbid though, because people know the emotional distress I've gone through when they told me this baby was coming early. I better go. That joke is too expensive. But anyway, if you enjoyed this story time, please give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye.